Hello my dear students, I Sir Gordiman again welcomes you all in our Path Maths online classes. Dear students, today we are going to start a new chapter which is known as vectors, and this is number 10 chapter from your NCERT book. So before starting the topic vectors, let me discuss some terms which are measured only through their magnitudes. Like we have mass, we have volume, area, temperature, and so many other terms are there which are measured only through their magnitudes. The direction didn't play any role in the measurement of these quantities. And these types of quantities which are having only magnitudes will be termed as your scalars. These are categorized as your scalars which are having only magnitude but doesn't have any direction. But my dear students, there are some more other terms like velocity, force, acceleration. These are the terms which are measured through their magnitudes as well as direction, because magnitude can't be measured completely these terms. Direction is also playing an important role to measure these quantities. So the quantities which are having magnitude as well as the direction are termed as the topic what we are going to discuss is your vector. So the vectors which we are going to discuss are the quantities which are having magnitudes as well as direction. So now let's start our topic with the representation of the vectors. How can we represent a vector? A vector is only represented by a directed line segment. A vector is always represented by a directed line segment. Directed means direction should be there and a line segment should be there. Let us consider any line segment with coordinates with point P and Q, and it is your directed from P to Q. Because this is your going from P to Q, it means this is directed from P to Q, and this is your vector and represented by PQ, like this. PQ vector, which shows that P is the initial point and Q is the terminal point, because this is directed from P to Q. So this is your initial point and Q is your terminal or your final point. So any vector which is directed from P to Q means P is your initial point and Q is terminal point. In case this is QP vector is there, then it means Q will be initial point and P will be your terminal point. So this is the vector PQ which should be represented. Now let's see the length, the distance between this point P and Q. Distance between PQ is represented by PQ only, and this is nothing but the length or the magnitude of the vector. This is known as magnitude or the length, and this is also represented by like vector PQ magnitude, this one. So this was all about your representation of vector. Let's see how a vector can be formed which is passing through the 2 points, because this is your vector is a quantity which is directed from one point to another point. So how can we form a vector in your 3D? Let me discuss how a vector can be formed. For that, let us consider this is your x-axis, y-axis and z-axis respectively, and let's see P is any point with coordinates x1, y1, z1, and O is your origin with coordinates 0, 0, 0. Then line directed from O to P is said to be a vector with components, because O is your now initial point, P is your terminal point, then the vector OP is formed by subtracting initial point from the terminal point along x-axis same as along y-axis, same along z-axis, and this is given by x1 minus 0 multiplied by I cap. This is your I cap. This is always a unit vector which is along x-axis, which is showing the direction along x-axis. Next is your y1 minus 0 into j cap. This is your unit vector along your y-axis, plus z1 minus 0 into k cap. This is the unit vector along your z-axis. So the vector OP is formed like x1 I cap plus y1 j cap plus z1 k cap. Now if you want to find the length of this vector, this length is given by OP vector will be given by magnitude of the vector OP is given by x1 square plus y1 square plus z1 square under the root by using डिस्टेंस फॉर्मूला. यू नो वेरी वेल कि अगर दो पॉइंट के बीच की डिस्टेंस निकालनी है बच्चों कैसे निकालते हैं, x2 माइनस x1 होल स्क्वायर प्लस y2 माइनस y1 होल स्क्वायर प्लस z2 माइनस z1 होल स्क्वायर अंडर द रूट. सेम इज देयर. दिस इज x1 माइनस 0 होल स्क्वायर मीन्स x1 स्क्वायर प्लस y1 माइनस 0 होल स्क्वायर y1 स्क्वायर प्लस z1 माइनस 0 होल स्क्वायर z1 स्क्वायर अंडर द रूट. सो दिस इज द मैग्नीट्यूड और द लेंथ ऑफ द वेक्टर OP. So this is the formation of a vector. How can we form a vector passing through the 2 points, and this is to be taken from subtracting the initial point from the terminal point. And dear students, the coefficients of I cap, j cap, k cap, x1, y1, z1, these are known as the scalar components. These are known as scalar components, and with your direction x1 I cap, y1 j cap, z1 k cap, these are known as the vector components. So any vector which is forming through the 2 points, which is passing through the 2 points, is having 2 components. Number 1 is scalar component, number 2 is vector components. Scalar component, the component which is only subtracting the initial point from the terminal point, x1 minus 0, y1 minus 0, z1 minus 0. These are the scalar components. But along by taking the direction of these x1 minus 0 into I cap, this is your vector component along x-axis. y1 minus 0 into j cap, this is the vector component along y-axis. z1 minus 0 into k cap is your vector component along z-axis. So this was all about the formation and the representation of vector. Let me discuss the types of the vectors. Now we will discuss about the types of the vectors. Let's start with the first type of the vectors, which is your zero vector. Types of the vectors are number 1 is zero vector. The vector having magnitude is equal to 0 is known as zero vector. Dot is an example for this zero vector. Next is your unit vector. Unit means 1. So any vector whose magnitude is equal to 1 is there, this is known as your unit vector. Magnitude of any vector comes out as 1. This is your unit vector, and it is always denoted by A cap. Cap means this is a unit vector. So any vector whose magnitude is equal to 1 is there, this is known as your unit vector. Next is your collinear vectors. Collinear vectors, these 2 or more vectors are said to be collinear if vector A is equal to lambda of vector B. Means if the respective components with respect to x-axis, y-axis and z-axis are proportional to each other, then these are known as your collinear vectors. Like for example, if vector A is your 2i cap plus j cap plus 3k cap, and the vector B is your 4i cap plus 2j cap plus 6k cap. Here you can see vector B is or vector A is half of vector B. It implies these 2 vectors are collinear vectors. Next is your equal vectors. equal vectors. Two or more vectors are said to be called equal if they have the same magnitude as well as the same direction. दो vectors की बच्चों अगर direction भी same है और magnitude भी same है, then these vectors are said to be your equal vectors. Next is your like vectors and unlike vectors. Like vectors कौन से होते हैं? The vectors which are in your same direction. If two vectors are there having same direction like this, P, Q, R, S, both are having the same direction, these are your like vectors. But two vectors having opposite direction, like this is your point P, this is Q, this is your R, this is PQ, this is PR, both are having of opposite direction, these are known as your unlike vectors. So equal vectors will always be like vectors as well. Let's do the next type, which is known as your co-initial vectors. Co-initial vectors. Vectors which are initiated from a same point. Like this is your OA, this is OB, this is OC. All the three vectors are known as your co-initial vectors because they are initiated from a same point which is known as your O. Next is your co-planar vectors. The vectors which are lying in a same plane. The vectors, two or more vectors are said to be coplanar if they are lying in a same plane are known as your coplanar vectors. Next is your negative of a vector. Negative of a vector. Now what will be negative vector? If two vectors are having opposite direction are known as negative of vector. Like if this is a vector PQ and same is your there which is directed from Q to P, this is from P to Q and this is Q to P, then PQ can be equal to minus of QP. So both are negative vector of each other because they are moving in a opposite direction. So this was your all about the types of the vectors, my dear students. You can complete your exercise number 1 from your NCERT book, which is completely based on the types of the vectors. So let me do the next topic about the vectors, which is known as your addition of two vectors. We are going to start with the addition of vectors. Addition of. For that, let us consider a vector A which is directed from P to Q, and there is another vector B which is directed from Q to R. Now the initial point of QR is the terminal point of PQ, means जो वेक्टर B है बच्चों उसका जो इनिशियल पॉइंट है वो वेक्टर A का टर्मिनल पॉइंट. Then addition of these two vectors is given by from direction P to R, and this is your represented by vector A plus vector B. The sum of the two vectors is given by the addition of the two vectors with respect to I cap, j cap and k cap, and this is known as your triangle law. This property of addition of vector is known as your triangle law, which states that if any two vectors are there from P to Q and there is another vector which is directed from Q to R, then the resultant or the addition of addition of these two vectors or sum of the vectors is given by directed from P to R and simply A plus B. For example, if vector A is your 2i cap plus j cap plus k cap, vector B is your I cap plus 2j cap plus 3k cap, and we want to add these two vectors or we want to find the resultant of these vectors, that can be taken simply by adding I cap with I cap, given by 3i cap plus I j cap with j cap as 3 j cap, and k cap with k cap is your 4 k cap. So this is your the addition of the two vectors. Now there are some properties. Vector addition is always commutative. Commutative means if a plus b is there, then b plus a will also be equal to each other. This is your always commutative. Now next is we want to find the difference of two vectors. This is to be done in the same manner. As two vectors are there, then they can be subtracted from one vector to another vector by subtracting the I cap coefficient with the I cap, j cap with the j cap, and k cap with your k cap. This is known as the subtraction of the two vectors. So this was the basic ideas about the vectors for your exercise number 1. Let me discuss now the scalar and vector components, which already I have told you just a few minutes back. Let me tell you again about the scalar and vector components of a vector and the direction cosines of a vector. What are the direction cosines? For that, let's consider again x-axis, y-axis and z-axis respectively. This is your x-axis, this is y-axis, this is z-axis. Again, let's take P as any point with coordinates x1, y1, z1, and O be the origin with coordinates 0, 0, 0. Then OP will be a vector which is directed from O to P, and this vector OP is given by x1 I cap plus y1 j cap plus z1 k cap. Already we have discussed just few minutes back. Now x1, y1, z1, these are no scalar components. x1, y1, z1, these are known as your scalar components. And x1 with I cap, y1 with j cap, z1 with k cap, these are known as the vector components. Vector components. So now let us see. Let this vector OP is making an angle alpha with your x-axis, beta with your y-axis, and gamma with your z-axis. Then alpha, beta and gamma, these are known as your direction angles. These are known as your direction angles because the vector OP is making alpha with x-axis, beta with y-axis and gamma with z-axis. Alpha, beta, gamma are simply known as direction angles. But by taking cosine with all these angles as cos alpha, cos beta and cos gamma, these are known as your direction cosines. These are the direction cosines, and direction cosines of any vector. Let this is the given vector and we want to find the direction cosines. This is given by cos alpha, which is your cos alpha is the direction cosine along x-axis, and this is given by scalar component along x-axis, which is your x1 divided by magnitude of the vector. Same cos beta, which is the direction cosine along y-axis. So this is to be given by scalar component along y-axis, which is y1 upon magnitude, and the cos gamma, which is your direction cosine along your z-axis, is given by scalar component along z-axis, which is your z1 upon magnitude, and this is given by x1 over x1 square plus y1 square plus z1 square under the root, and this is y1 over x1 square plus y1 square plus z1 square under the root. This is your z1 over x1 square plus y1 square plus z1 square under the root. These are the direction cosines. And my dear students, direction cosines along x-axis, along y-axis and along z-axis, these are represented by L, M and N. And you will find in each and every case that L square plus M square plus N square will always be equal to 1. So dear students, if in any case you are given with the scalar component or the vector, then you can find the direction cosines in this way by taking the scalar component upon the magnitude. What if you want to find the scalar component along scalar direction cosine along x-axis, then scalar component along x-axis divided by magnitude, और y के along अगर डायरेक्शन कोसाइन निकाला चाहते हैं तो स्केलर कंपोनेंट along y-axis divided by magnitude, और अगर z के along निकालना चाहते हैं डियर स्टूडेंट्स तो z1 which is the scalar component along z-axis upon magnitude. So this was the complete basic concepts related to exercise 10.1 and 10.2. Now you can start your exercise and I'll do the questions as well in the next video. Till then, have a nice day.